in this video, I just wanted to say that if you're dealing with social anxiety, I want to tell you that there's nothing wrong with you. Hello my beautiful magical beings, welcome to my channel Moonlight Royalty. My name is Cindy. I wanted to talk about my recovery from social anxiety. I'll share a little bit about my story and what I've learned along the way, and hopefully it can help you on your journey. So basically my whole life I've always had social anxiety. I even made a video about this a few years ago. I believe it's my first video if you want to check it out. But yeah, just a crippling, debilitating social anxiety that just kind of ruled my life. And as a first-gen immigrant coming from Mexico to the US, my parents, you know, obviously they spoke Spanish, and then I had to learn English, and so there was kind of a communication barrier at school from not really knowing English, and then also at home of like not being able to properly communicate with my parents. And so there was a communication problem there, but then also within my family there was a lot of toxic cycles, and it was just not a good environment for me to grow up in. And so I believe that's why, you know, my body, my mind decided to develop some develop some defense mechanisms that your nervous system does whenever your body is threatened or sense any danger around you in your environment. And either that's fight, flight, fawn, freeze. For me, it developed into avoiding and isolation, and just kind of being by myself. And so, and also growing up in a small town, not connecting to Mexicans, not connecting to Americans. I just felt very disconnected from myself, from my family, from the community. And so, you know, all these things within my childhood that I just had very low self-esteem, low self-worth. And in school growing up, I was always that shy and quiet person. Always. And that's just who I was, you know, and I didn't really think much of it. People knew me as that person, and then it wasn't until after I graduated that I went to college and I saw how much it like impacted me. Because whenever I went anywhere, it was just so hard to like speak up for myself, to make friends, to speak up in class, and jobs, like anywhere and everywhere that I went, it was just very hard to just be myself. Yeah, like I said, it affected me in all areas of life, and especially graduating college. You know, you get a degree and stuff, but just because I got a degree, I didn't go after, you know, jobs that are related in my field, or go after opportunities, because I didn't feel that I was worthy enough for it. I didn't feel that I was capable enough for it, because I had this underlying belief system that I wasn't good enough. Again, coming from toxic household where I was constantly criticized, and yeah, you know, all that stuff. And so to me, when because I was studying psychology, when I found out that I had social anxiety, I legit was walking down the street, the sidewalk, and then it just hit me that I had social anxiety, and I thought I was the biggest freak. Like a year before that, I actually thought I had a speech impediment. Like, I think that's the right word, where I thought like I stuttered or I couldn't talk right because I was always quiet. And like I said, I had that communication barrier with people around me. And so I just thought I was freak, because the easiest thing in the whole world I couldn't do. I couldn't talk to people, I couldn't connect to people, I couldn't nothing of that, you know. And again, I felt very isolated, and you know, I dealt with other mental health issues, concerns like depression, and just a bunch of like overthinking and doubting myself. And so into my early 20s, mid 20s, I went from job to job, and doing jobs that I absolutely hated, you know, or doing jobs where I wouldn't speak to people. You know, for example, one of those jobs was Amazon as a stower. And if you know, like, when you're a stower, like, you're working by yourself, that's like the perfect job for an introvert. Or I would work at potato factories. And so I just had a very low self-esteem in myself. And even though I've known from a young age that I was here for a purpose, you know, I knew I was here to, like, do something, to make an impact, to inspire people, to spread light, love, and divine knowledge. And back then I didn't really know, I didn't really understand. Like, I just knew, kind of had an idea, but I didn't really understand until, you know, I had my spiritual awakening about like 3 years ago, and I went through a dark night of the soul. And not only in my spiritual journey, but I've always been on this personal development journey of trying to get out of my comfort zone. For example, again in college, after I had accepted the fact that I had social anxiety, I wanted to do something to get out of it. And in 2017, that was a year that I wanted to get out of my comfort zone, and I did things like join a sorority. I think I was camp counselor. I went on a volunteer trip to DC. I studied abroad in London. And to other people it might seem like, oh, that's normal, like that's not a big deal, you know. But to me it was like the scariest thing ever. And I just legit would cry so many times, because after an interaction I would just kind of like get mad at myself, like, why did you say that, why didn't you say that, you know. I was very hard on myself. And so slowly over time I tried to, you know, better myself. And then I had my spiritual awakening, like I said, and then I like slowly started to understand that we're more than just a human body, you know. We're a soul, we're spiritual beings here having a human experience. And you know, I learned about past lives and all that spiritual stuff. I was very into like healing, and so I was healing ancestral trauma, doing shadow work, doing a lot of inner work within myself. But yet at the same time I still kept staying within my box. I felt like I was in a mental prison. And it was me, it was my limitations, my limiting beliefs about myself, you know. And so that's how I was. But then I've come to learn that a lot of these things were affected to me by like my childhood. I explained a little bit about my childhood, but then also like ancestral trauma, you know. Especially within my family lineage, there was a lot of domestic violence within my female lineage, you know, and also like poverty and all these different things. And so the things that you've learned within your childhood, and not only that, but like also the trauma is stored within the body. And if your family, your grandparents, or whoever didn't deal with their shit, that gets stored in your body. Emotions get stored in your body, and that gets passed down to generation. And that's why a lot of like people, society is fucked up. We're so disconnected from ourselves, from nature. And so it's just a whole deep topic that we'll have to get into another video. There's a lot that I could say, what I've learned and what things that I've done to overcome social anxiety. But over time, you know, I have slowly over time, over a decade, believe in myself more, release old traumas, rewire my belief systems, all these different things where I feel more confident in myself. I'm actually taking steps towards my dreams, my goals, and I actually believe in myself now. And so in this video I just wanted to say that if you're dealing with social anxiety, I want to tell you that there's nothing wrong with you. Inherently, there's nothing wrong with you. You as a human being, as a spiritual being, there is nothing wrong with you. You are perfect, you are amazing, you're love, you're light. You are just a goddess, a god, you know. And so we are all God. It's just our environment. What I've been saying in this whole video, that there's external things outside of us that will program us, that will condition us, that will shape us into this being. And as someone who had social anxiety, it was like the worst thing ever. Whenever people would come, I would avoid them. Whenever family came over to my house, I would stay upstairs and not come downstairs. I didn't even go to the bathroom because I just so scared of people. And just having social anxiety or any other mental health or any other thing that you're dealing with can seem like a big monster, and we don't tell people. But the thing is, the reason why I'm sharing this is that to let you know that you're not alone. You know, there's a lot of people out there that are probably dealing with the same thing too. Maybe you don't have a support system that you can talk to, or people aren't really talking about this. But if you do some research and you work on yourself, you're gonna realize like, oh wow, I'm not alone, and I can become a better version of myself. So yeah, you can absolutely overcome social anxiety. I'll have to make another video on like specific steps to do, but mainly just work on yourself, love yourself, take care of yourself, set strong boundaries, be aware of who you surround yourself with, and also like, how are you giving your power out to other people? Because I used to care so much about what other people thought of me, where I just wouldn't do nothing. Like, I was just frozen, I was stuck, you know. And life is too short to like not go after your dreams, to not do the things that you want to do, and instead we get stuck in these terrible jobs and broke as fuck and miserable and all these things. But like, we deserve way more than that, you know. Like, we deserve to live a happy life, to be surrounded around good, positive people, to live a healthy life, because health is wealth, you know. And to just be aligned mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and get your mind, your body, your spirit right, you know, and connect with nature, be in tune with yourself and Mother Earth and Father Sky. There's so much beauty, there's so much magic in the world, and not just on Earth, but like outside of Earth too. I just wanted to make this quick video talking about a little bit about my past and how I've kind of overcome that now, you know. Like, I'm not as scared as I used to be, and at times, yes, I still avoid people. Like, for example, I'm at a grocery store, I see someone that I know, like, I'll either try to like go a different path and stuff. And so like, I've been very intentional about not doing that anymore, you know, and just saying, hey, hi, you know, like, you know, stepping into our power. Like, we are good enough, that we are powerful, that we are amazing, you know, and not have to belittle ourselves. That's like the whole world, society, people are always doing that to us, you know. And you have to be the one to be like, yo, I don't want to do that no more. Like, I'm gonna stand up for myself, I'm gonna speak my voice, I'm gonna speak my truth, I'm gonna live my dharma, I'm gonna be happy, I'm gonna be joyful, I'm gonna do the things that I want to do because it makes me happy, because I want to, you know. And that's how we should be living life. When one person shines their light and do the things that they want to do, more people are gonna do that too. And I like how they're like I told you, life is magical. I feel like they were telling me like, yes, but yeah, like, don't stop letting other people take your power. You are in control of your life. You are powerful, you are magical, you are good enough, you are capable to do anything that you want to do. You just have to believe in yourself. And I know that's gonna take little steps. It's not gonna happen overnight. You're just gonna have to work on yourself, you know, like slowly start talking to people, slowly start like expanding yourself and getting out of your comfort zone, and one day you're gonna look back and be like, yo, like, wow, I used to be so scared of people, you know, and now you're not. not? You know, now you're out here living your dreams, and I just wanted to share my story so other people can not feel alone and know that there is hope, that you can overcome this or anything else that you're trying to overcome. But you are already good, and you are already whole and complete and holy. You are amazing just the way you are. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end on that note. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you've dealt with this or anything that you want to share. And yeah, thank you so much. If you like these kind of topics about spirituality, personal development, entrepreneurship, dharma, all of these different things, follow me, subscribe to me, and yeah, I love you guys. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.